Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the TANSO Racing Group GR86 Season 10, Round 3 in 2025. We are in Summit Point, West Virginia for Round 3 of this series. And what a race we have. We had a very exciting race last week. Pretty sure there's not going to be anything different this week as well. Matt Benson sits on pole for our heat race. He finished second last time. He's the only driver in qualifying to break into the 1 minute 19 seconds with a 1 minute 19.949. Second place, Mickey Dolan. Strong performance last week as well with a 1 minute 20 seconds at .10. And green flag is out. We are racing. Good early getaway by your front row. Dolan, Benson, side by side. Dolan with a little bit of the advantage. Benson has that inside line. He's going to make it work through turns 1 and 2. Dolan now gets the lead. Benson falling to third a little bit here as we head into turn 3. Turn 3 is uphill. It's almost a blind corner here as we can see one car getting into the gravel trap a little bit there, but he's able to keep it out on track. Heading through the slow part of the track first time around. Currently riding with the Brazilian Eagle Saturo. Saturo also with a strong showing last week. Matt Benson led your field to green. Mickey Dolan started second. Daniel Warham started third. Simon McPhee started fourth. Fifth, Robert Barber. Sixth, Alex Kublis. Seventh, Dan Forster. 8th, Egolf Satiro. 9th, Joseph Lopez. 10th, Casper Roost. 11th, Sean Atkinson. Or my bad, not Sean, my bad. Reese Atkinson. Adrian Hatfield started 12th. 13th, Stuart Brierly. 14th, Terry Atkinson. 15th, David Gibson. 16th, JT Johnston. And 17th, Josh Arnold. A few new faces we didn't see last week, but we are up and going once again. Mickey Dolan currently in second to Daniel Warham. And oh, it looks like we got trouble at the top of the hill. Not entirely sure what's going on up there. I think I saw Egolf involved in that one. Not sure who else. Let's see here. The 14th, Dan Forster involved in that one as well. Unfortunately, we do not have replay, but it looks like the 16 Dan, or the number 300 Dan Forster is slowly crawling his way. Looks like he may have gotten back up to speed though. As we head back onto the main straight, a very, very long straightaway here. Track is 1.98 miles, almost 2 miles long. 10 turns make up the distance on this circuit. Track was built between 1969 and 1970, and it opened in 1969. The first race held here was an SECA regional event in the fall of 1969, with IMSA International Sedans being the first professional event, later to become the Radical Tire Series. So a lot of big events have made their names here. Trans Am came here. Can-Am has been here. IMSA GT America Championship. And then from 1999 to 2009, they had the 12 hours of Summit Point. But today, it holds host to the GR86s, which I think, was that a car that we had off there for a second, maybe? No, looks like everyone's still up and going for the most part. We got a battle for second. between Benson and Dolan. Dolan takes a look to the outside, tries to get the move going in. Benson goes defensive. A very fast track as we see more cars getting involved in that gravel trap. They got to be careful there because that gravel could come to bite them if they're not careful. Very fast and flowy track. A few big slowdown areas, a small technical bit between 5, 6, 7, and 8. But for the most part, a good bit of this lap is with your foot to the floor. Riding along now with Reese Atkinson. He's currently about about 1.5 seconds behind the car in front of him right now. Car in front of him, Joseph Lopez, his teammate. Both part of the TANSO group. And it looks like Mickey Dolan making sure McPhee knows he's there, flashing his lights at him. We're not endurance racing. We're not multi-class racing. You can't just flash your lights and expect him to get out the way. Daniel Warham, still your leader, and it looks like he's using a bit of that gravel every lap to kind of let his car come out, using as much of the racetrack as he possibly can, carry that momentum on corner exit. Josh Arnold now 3 laps down, not the day he is wanting to have starting out. Once again, this is a 20-lap heat race. We'll have a 25-lap main race. Track temp currently at 68 degrees, a little bit cooler than the outside ambient temperature of 68 degrees, or 65 degrees, my bad. And for the most part, we are staying pretty orderly. Few cars going a bit wide at the exit of turn 10, but we are heading back into this heavy braking zone that is turn 1. Into a very wide turn 2. Then, as they come up the hill here a little bit to turn 3, you're going to go up the hill. It's a little bit of a blind corner. You see that apex last second. You get into the gravel a little bit, try and hope it makes it stick. Then you're flat out here for a while before you burp the throttle just a little bit into turn 4. Then you're heavy on the brakes into turn 5. And you have to have good throttle discipline and brake control going through 6, 7, and 8 like we see Adrian Hatfield right now. Then we are back into the snaking turns of 7, 8, and 9 before another very long straight. As we are now just past the halfway point and now heading into that final corner as well. You do not want to be hard on the brakes. You need to get your car slowed down. You need to get that nose to bow down, but you still want to keep that momentum through the turn and get a good run towards the end of that straightaway, as we have a battle now for fourth, or my bad, for third on the third step of the podium. Once again, your top 12 will invert at the end of this race. Mickey Dolan trying to make the move on Simon McPhee. Neither one of them getting to the gravel right there, trying to keep it on track, keep their tires clean. iRacing, of course, always evolving and updating their systems to help make the iRacing program as realistic as possible. As it seems that one of our leaderboards have gone out for a second, but we're going to get a good view of this battle between McPhee and Dolan. Now Dolan, if he can stay in the draft, he can find a way as he takes a peek to the inside going into turn 10. Decides better against it, doesn't quite pull the trigger. Power still down as we have our other stuff. Taking a look at that beautiful Porsche iRacing pace car. Hopefully we won't have to see that car too much this series. These guys usually keep it pretty clean for the most part. Daniel Warman now with a 2.5-second lead over Matt Benson. Matt Benson with about a 2.5-second lead or gap between Simon McPhee, and Simon McPhee and Mickey Doolin still pretty nose to tail right now. But as we ride on with Joseph Lopez in the 221 machine, Joseph Lopez in the TANSO Racing machine. Looks like, what kind of dog is that on there? I'm not entirely sure. He's got the Zoomies dog. Zoomies is on it. Not sure what kind of dog that is entirely, but sure it might be Joseph's, and would love to figure out what that dog's name is. But Joseph closing the gap to Alex Kublis. As we go back to this battle between McPhee and Dolan. Dolan now looking to the inside, doesn't quite get the run. These Toyota GR86s, this is basically a spec series. All the cars are basically the same. You know, I'm not sure if these guys are able to tweak their setups. Even with fixed setups, I'm just now getting word, fixed setups on these cars. So it really comes down to the driver, and with such even driving, you have to make sure you time your moves perfectly, and I think he just put the bumper to him. Mickey Dolan, he must have known that I was announcing today, because he knows my type of racing. Oh, McPhee goes real wide, gets a little loose. Dolan now to the inside. Does McPhee have anything for him? Doesn't look like it. Dolan now has a lot of ground to make up a 3.2-second gap to Matt Benson. And now McPhee is getting pressure, or not really. Joseph Lopez and Alex Kublis getting a bit of pressure, but if they're smart, they will work together and try and get up towards the next car. Once you get into a draft, it makes both cars faster. 8 tires are faster than 4, but it looks like Lopez is going to try and take one for himself. He looks to the inside, decides against it, goes back up to get the arc. Heading into turn 1, a little bit of action there, as it looks like Adrian Hatfield also trying to join the battle here. And before too long, if these guys stay close together, we might have a 5-car battle for the 3rd step on the podium. Robert Barber, the Englishman, now making his way through the course. Not much happening at the front of this field. Daniel Warham basically could be driving with his eyes closed right now. It looks like he knows this track like he knows the back of his hand. But looks like this battle might be heating up right here. We might have a 4-car battle here for the 4th spot. Now we've got the battle heating up for 4th place. Alex Kublis, Simon McPhee, nose to tail. And now Joseph Lopez is in that battle as well. Lopez looks to the inside of Kublis. Still not quite there. Maybe he is. Lopez to the inside. Can Kublis hang on? Try and swing it around in turn 3. Still to his outside. And that outside is going to become his inside coming into turn 3. He's going to keep it. And looks like we have a few cars off. Looks like Simon McPhee off right there. Here comes Kublis. Kublis up the inside for 4th. That definitely shakes up how these guys are running. Now here comes McPhee. McPhee might be trying to take another look. Does he dive it in? Doesn't. Through turn 10 and goes way wide as it looks like Lopez blinking there a little bit. Hopefully his internet connection is all right. Kublis now going on the defensive mode, trying to protect that inside line going into turn 1. And we have just under a minute and a half left. And now Lopez gets around Kublis. Or McPhee, my apologies. And now Adrian Hatfield has joined the battle. Well, it looks like my, oh, never mind, that is a lapped car. That is a lapped car. My apologies. But I believe this time by, we will be getting the white flag. And nope, looks like we're going to have 2 more laps. 2 more laps to go here in this one. Popsicles are out. 2 more laps to go. And now, Matt Benson, only 4 point, still a good ways away from Daniel Warham, but Mickey Dolan has gotten right up to his back bumper, less than a second, almost half a second away. Will he have anything? Very nice looking black and gold Valhalla paint scheme on that car for Matt Benson. Barney's waving it one more time around for Daniel Warham in this heat race. Still heading back up the hill. Now, we are heading down this final straight. Does Mickey Dolan have anything for Matt Benson? Does he get enough of a draft? Doesn't look like it. We come off a turn 10, and it's going to be Daniel Warman taking the checkered flag in the heat race. Wareham taking the checkered flag. Matt Benson in second. Mickey Dolan in third. Fourth, Alex Kublis. Fifth, Joseph Lopez. Sixth, Simon McPhee. Seventh, Adrian Hatfield. Eighth, Reese Atkinson. Ninth, Terry Atkinson. 10th, JT Johnston. 11th, Robert Barber. 12th, Casper Roost. 13th is going to be David Gibson. 14th, Stuart Brierly. And that will round off your field. We will take a short break before we go feature racing here. Top 12 invert. We will be right back. And we are back here for our feature race. Here's how they'll stack up. The Brazilian Egolf Satiro will lead your field. Will start 17th on the grid. 16th, the Canadian Josh Arnold. 15th, the Briton Dan Forster. 14th, Britain Stuart Brierly. 13th, Britain David Gibson. 12th, Daniel Warham from Britain. 11th, Matt Benson, the American. 10th, the Englishman of Mickey Dolan. 9th, Alex Kublis, the American. 8th, Joseph Lopez, the American. 7th, Simon McPhee, the Englishman. 6th, Adrian Hatfield. 5th, Sean Atkinson. 4th, Terry Atkinson. Third, JT Johnston. Second, Robert Barber. First, Casper Roost. That's your starting lineup. Green flag is out. We already got cars going out on the grass. We are 4 wide heading into turn 1. And they somehow make it through. Little bit of beating and banging there. I ain't got no problem with that. Now we are 2 by 2, second on back. Robert Barber with a quick early lead. We got a lot of cars. Ooh, one car getting real aggressive on the curves back there. Not sure who that was. JT Johnston now we ride along with. Robert Barber still your leader over Reese Atkinson, JT Johnston, Daniel Warham, and Terry Atkinson. Your top 5 as they sit. A few cars going a little wide, trying to carry as much momentum as they can through turn 10 as we complete the first lap here. Robert Barber's going to lead the first lap. We are still battling further in the pack. As that is Matt Benson making the move up into 8th. Few cars go a little wide there. They're still going to keep it clean. We are 3 wide. We're still 3 wide. It goes back to 2. Benson now on the outside of Kubas, and we got cars going in the grass. Oh, I'm not sure who that is. We got one car going off to the side. Josh Arnold had a rough heat race, and now his feature race not going the way he wants it to. Stuart Brierley also involved in that one as well. Alex Ublis now riding along with. It looks like we got a little bit of battling up front. Sean Atkinson or Reese Atkinson trying to get to the top spot. Side by side with Robert Barber. They're still side by side as they head into the uphill of turn 3. And Atkinson, Reese Atkinson's going to have the advantage. Oh, and looks like Daniel Warham just tried to close the door on him. Warham now to the inside. Warham, your heat race winner, now in just a matter of 4.5 minutes is up to 2nd place after the 12-car invert. The 2 Simtech cars sitting 1-2 on the speedway, or on the raceway here at Summit Point. Now JT Johnston trying to hang on to this 4th place spot from Terry Atkinson. Looks like Johnston's going to go real wide. And looks like we're battling for the lead again. Teammates going at it up front. And now we're 3 wide. 3 wide for the top spot. Barber backs out of it. And now here comes Benson up the inside for 4th. McPhee goes, or not McPhee, I believe someone went wide right there, but it looks like Benson now trying to get, and he does, up into 4th as we go back to this 3-car battle for the top spot. Daniel Warham, your current leader over Robert Barber and Sean Atkinson. Daniel Warham, once he got out front in the heat race, he just almost kind of walked away with it a little bit, had an over 4-second lead at the checkered flag. at the end of the heat race. Lots of racing happening through the field here as Benson now feeling pressure, or Benson putting the pressure on Sean Atkinson, or Reese Atkinson. Reese Atkinson still trying to hang on to that inside line, but now Benson's going to have the inside line in this uphill portion of turn 3 if he can stay with them. And he does. They're going to go through turn 3 up the hill. Atkinson is clear, and here comes McPhee. McPhee now to the inside of Benson. Doesn't quite make it stick. And now a late dive right there by Matt Benson. Benson now up into the 3rd step of the podium. Still battling hard here going into turn 1. McPhee trying to get up in there with Reese Atkinson and Alex Kublis. Kublis and McPhee now up into 4th and 5th. McPhee now trying to make the move on Kublis. And here comes Reese Atkinson with a late lunge. Same move Matt Benson pulled on him a few laps ago. Dan Forster trying to rebound from his earlier misfortune in the heat race, now up to 7th. Forster, one of the stronger cars last week in Mexico City. Now all over the back bumper of Mickey Dolan. Or he's got a little bit of room to Mickey Dolan, but he's got Terry Atkinson right behind him. Leaders starting to come up on lap traffic. Casper Roost, who led your field to green, unfortunately now at the tail end of this thing, and leaders are quickly approaching. And, oh, well, that's one way to get out of the way. Casper Roost going off track there. Not sure if he misjudged the turn or was just trying to make sure he got out of the way. But we are back going down this long straight. Let's see here. And Reese Atkinson and Mickey Dolan now looks like they're going at it for a spot in the top 5. Mickey Dolan currently in 5th, Reese Atkinson 4th or 6th, and Dan Forster 7th. Terry Atkinson now making the move, or trying to maintain that spot from Simon McPhee. McPhee trying to move up into the top 8. And now Forrester making the move just ahead of them on his teammate. Forrester gets around Reese Atkinson. And now Robert Barber looks like has just retaken the lead. Daniel Warham in second. And here comes Matt Benson. We might have a 3-car battle for the lead here as we are approaching the halfway point of this race. As we look at a few of these other battles, the battle up front is still heating up. Everyone now within less than half a second of each other up front. And it looks like we got one car. That's McPhee. McPhee off the track. And looks like we got a good battle up front. Hopefully we can go to it. Barber still your leader. Let's stay here for a second and watch how these guys play out. Top 3 all notes to tail. Barber, Warham, Benson. And now Warham making the move again, trying to get back to the top spot. They headed to the braking zone. Benson brakes a little earlier too, tries to go in. Benson sneaks his nose in there. He's gonna try and make it happen. Oh, and there's contact! And Barber goes around the second place car. Barber facing the wrong direction as he falls down the grid at the exit of turn 2. It's gonna be interesting to see how the race officials view that. Daniel Warham, your new leader over Matt Benson. Alex Kublis now in third. We are just out. We are almost 9 minutes left in this 25-minute feature. As the leaders now start lap 12. Dan Forster now in the top 5. Reese Atkinson down to 7th. Josh Arnold up to 6th. Good to see him making strides to get back up after a rough heat race. As well as Dan Forster. Dan Forster, definitely one of the faster guys, but the day did not start the way I think he would have wanted it to. As they cross the line now to start lap 13. And here comes Terry Atkinson's up the inside of Reese Atkinson. Not sure if there's any relation there. Reese gonna have the line, but if Terry can hang on to it, and he does, he's gonna now have the advantage at the top of the hill. And I'm getting word that Terry is actually the uncle to Reese Atkinson. So a little bit of a family battle going on here. We see it a lot in racing nowadays, a bit of father-son, or maybe even like we're seeing here, uncle and nephew going at it. And Reese is making sure he knows, just because you're my uncle don't mean I'm going to let you by easily. They are still racing hard, and this has allowed Joseph Lopez to get up into the mix as well. Excuse me. Lopez now to the inside of Terry Atkinson. Decides to not pull the trigger and try again as we head on. As we got one car off, spinning. Not sure who that is. And it looks like it's Mickey Dolan. Mickey Dolan off the track, the exit of turn 10. He's going to fall back. That's going to bring a lot of people up. Dan Forster, after finishing 15th in the heat race, now sits 4th. But he has got a rear bumper full of Josh Arnold. Another one of the Simtech guys, or never mind, but Matt Benson now within half a second of your leader, Daniel Warham. Let's see if he will have anything for him. The clock continues to wind. Just under 5.5 minutes remain. And now, not sure if Benson got a little loose there, but a little bit of weaving. Now the 221 machine of Joseph Lopez sits 7th. Trying to get up into the top 6 over Terry Atkinson. Terry Atkinson and Joseph Lopez both get around Reese Atkinson. Still nose to tail as they cross the line again to start the 16th lap. 3.5 minutes remaining. Matt Benson still within a decent striking distance of Daniel Warham. Alex Kublis is up there as well. Top 3 all pretty nose to tail here. in the heat race, Daniel Warham was able to get up front and in that clean air to try and get a good run, but this time Matt Benson is not letting him out of his sights. Staying in that draft as they go down the side stretch, now onto the front stretch. Still nose to tail, now just under 2.5 minutes remaining in this one. Every lap the clock winds down a little bit more for Matt Benson. Does he have enough? This is the closest he's been all day. Matt Benson has proven he knows how to get around this place quickly. Once again, the only driver in qualifying to break into the 1:19s. Now Joseph Lopez trying to still get around Uncle Terry. And a good corner exit right there by Joseph Lopez. Terry Atkinson goes on the defensive. Lopez goes to the preferred line. He's going to have the outside going into turn 10. Terry Atkinson still with that preferred line, still going defensive. As now Matt Benson takes a look to the lead. Benson now the leader. Now with only 43 seconds, so we should see the white flag next time by. Oh, Benson goes wide. Benson now falls to third. The race is heating up here at the front. Kublis now trying to make the look to the inside of Daniel Warham. And the clock has expired, which means they will see the white flag this time by. As your leaders go through turn 10. And it looks like Joseph and Reese Atkinson have gotten in front of Terry Atkinson as we now head back up to the front of this field. Matt Benson trying to take back over second place. He's going to have the advantage going into turn 1 here. And he's going to keep it. And it doesn't look like Kublis was able to get the crossover there. But now he's back up on the back bumper. White flag lap. This is it. What does Benson do? He came home second last race, but he wasn't this close. Now 0.3 seconds behind. He tries to look to the inside. Is he going to try and get a run here, get a good corner exit? As we now head into the S's. Now for this final long straightaway. Can Benson get enough of a draft? You have to play the draft perfectly. Will he dive it in going into turn 10? Doesn't look like it coming off a turn 10. Checkered flag is out. It's going to be Daniel Warham, followed by Matt Benson and Alex Kublis. Dan Forrester, Josh Arnold in 5th. 6th is going to be, looks like it's going to be Joseph Lopez, Reese Atkinson, Terry Atkinson, Adrian Hatfield, Mickey Dolan, The Brazilian Eagle Satiro now coming off of turn 10 to see the checkered flag. Stuart Brierly going to finish 12th. 13th going to go, looks like it's going to go to JT Johnston. 14th, Daniel Gibson. 15th, as looks like he was a lap down. So Casper Roost, Simon McPhee 16th and 17th, Robert Barber. Thank you so much for tuning in to round 3 of the 2025 Season 10 TANSO Racing Group Toyota GR86 Series. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week.